The companies we're going over today include stocks with dividend yields ranging from 2.65% to 3.38%. We'll go over 4 large cap stocks, 1 small cap stock, and these companies fall into the consumer discretionary sector, the industrial sector, and communication services. What's up everyone, my name's Robbie. This is Robbie Amnila, and today we're talking about the best dividend stocks to buy right now. So this is a pretty big video if you watch my channel. As you probably know, I always talk about ETFs, I talk about index funds, 3-fund portfolios, lots of different funds and ETF type investments, but I never really talk about investing in individual stocks. In this video, we're going to go over 5 different dividend stocks that I like right now that I think are probably good buys. And so let's go ahead, let's get this thing started after the intro. Okay, let's go ahead and get this thing started. And remember, this is not financial advice. These are opinions. These are just stocks I like for myself, and I'm making a video about it, so not financial advice. Okay, so let's go ahead and play a game. It's called What's the Stock? And what I want to do on this is each stock I'm going to go over 5 stocks, and each one I'm going to go over all of the fundamentals and stuff like that before I reveal each stock. So I think it's better, it's less bias on your part and my part when I'm watching these videos. If I don't know the stock before they kind of revealed at the end, I like that more. So let's do that. So the first stock we have is in the consumer discretionary sector. Its industry is furnishing, fixtures, and appliances, and it's got a market cap of $12.6 billion. So, question, leave a little comment in the section below where you leave the comments. Just let me know, what do you think this is? If you have an idea of one of these before I reveal it, just write it right now in the comments. I think this would be fun. You'll get some props if you get it right. So the price of this stock is $201 per share. The average target, so the average analyst target of this stock is $270, which constitutes an upside potential of 34.31%, which I think is a pretty good upside for a lot of people. So you get some dividends on this one, you get some yield, and you're going to get some potential growth. So the dividend yield on this is 2.73%. Dividend increase track record, meaning that how long this increases dividend each year. 26 years it's been increasing its dividends, so this is considered a dividend aristocrat stock. The payout ratio is 30%, and the 3-year CAGR of this thing is 12.79%. The compound annual growth rate of the dividend. Okay, next up we have the F-score. Now, if you're not sure what F-score is, it's the Piotrowski F-score. It's a rating between 1 and 9, and the higher the rating, the better. And I actually made a video about it. I'll put a link in the description below, but I love using F-score when I'm looking through stocks to kind of like, let's say, weed out some different stocks. If I have a bunch of different ones that I like, one of the things I'll look at maybe last is the F-score, or sometimes I'll look at it first before I add them to the list. So a lot of times I like to see stocks with decent F-scores. So this F-score is an 8, so the best is a 9. This is an 8, so it's a very good F-score. The PE ratio is 6.8, a forward PE of 8.16, price to sales of 0.59, 2.61 price to book, and 6.01 price to free cash flow. This is a cheap stock. It is not a very expensive stock. You're not paying a lot for earnings and things like that. And so what is this stock? So drum roll, this is Whirlpool Corporation. WHR is the ticker symbol. You've probably heard of Whirlpool before. So Whirlpool makes a lot of different things that you'll find in your home. So for example, you might have a washer, that's Whirlpool. You might have a dryer, that's Whirlpool. You might have a mixer, a KitchenAid mixer, that's Whirlpool. You might have something that's made by one of their other brands, so Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Maytag, so a lot of different brands that they have under the Whirlpool Corporation. Very good stock. It's an international company, 58% of sales in the US, but outside the US is the rest of the sales. So it's a global company with global revenues. Now let's go ahead and look through the technical analysis of this real quick. So this is what the chart looks like right now. Going back to September of 2018, so let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit and then let's throw some trend lines and things like that on here. So here's what I got for Whirlpool. So basically, I think that Whirlpool right now is not necessarily a great buy technically. I think it's possible that you might want to wait on this to buy, but it depends on how you invest. If you don't really care about technicals, if you don't buy based on trading and you don't care about like what the short-term price is doing right now, then okay, don't worry about waiting. But if you care about it, I would say that this has broken down below its support level, and this is an actual important support level, and I think it actually went through what's called a Fibonacci retracement level as well. This is the next support I see here, and it also happens to be another Fibonacci retracement level. So I think that this is potentially going to go down to this area here, which is $184. Now it's possible that it doesn't, and it comes back up inside here above the resistance line, which was support, now resistance. So if it does go back above 204, let's say with volume, potentially then it's a buy again here. So what I would do is, if it was me, I would wait a little bit, see what happens in this region here. If it comes back above here, I might buy with volume. Okay, on to our next stock. We have, this sector is industrials. The industry is business equipment and supplies, and the market cap 1.6 billion. This is our small cap stock of the day. So type it in the comments there if you think you have an idea about what this one is. Moving on, we have the price of the stock. The price is $36.71 with an average target from analysts of $49. Now, I think only 2 analysts cover the stock, but that is the average price target, which is a upside potential of 33.48%. Again, another good upside potential. The dividend yield for this stock, for all of us dividend investors out here, is 3.38%. This is a pretty decent yield, one of the highest dividend yielding stocks I have today. And the dividend track record for this one is actually 26 years, so it's increased its dividend for 26 years. The payout ratio is 61%, a little bit high, maybe 40 to 60 is what I kind of like to see there, but not far out of the range, so that's fine. And then the dividend 3% CAGR, 7.96%. The F score, what is the F score? It's a 7, so not too bad. Not a 9, not an 8, but a 7, and 7 is the least that I like. So 7, 8, and 9 is what I want. PE ratio of 18.61, a forward PE of 13.70, a price to sales of 0.78, price to book of 2.62, and a price to free cash flow of 12.55. So what is this company? You have any thoughts? What do you think? It is HNI Corporation. Now, you might not be familiar with this. I actually was not as very familiar with this until recently. So HNI is a company that has basically 2 main segments. So one is the building products, and really what they have and what they produce are fireplaces. So very interesting. Never really thought about this industry before. So as you'll see, like really good, nice fireplaces. They have a lot of different types of fireplaces, styles of fireplaces, and different brands. Heat and Glow, Fireside, Heatalator. So different brands within this fireplace marketplace. Another thing that this company does is workplace furnishings, and that's another really big part of this company. And you'll see there's different brands. So HNI brands include like Hahn, All Steel, Gunlock. So you might have heard of some of these, you might have not. But really, if you're like going to furnish a corporation or something like that, this is a great company that a lot of people will turn to go ahead and like furnish like a great looking office space, a great looking entire building or something like that. So they're going to do a lot of times really big projects, and so you're getting like real decent sized contracts with some of these different brands. And so the next thing we have is like Respawn. So this is just like a chair that they also manufacture and build. So different brands that they have. So they go through fireplaces, they go through building furniture, they have chairs and stuff like that for corporations and office buildings. And then the next thing we want to look at is technical analysis of this company. So looking at the chart for HNI, you'll see big uptrend, and then a downtrend here starting in around, let's say, June of this year. And then it actually now is broken out of this downtrend, and now we look like potential little uptrend channel potentially starting here. And with what's going on lately in the market, there's been a lot of declines in the market lately, and this stock is actually not done too bad. It's still in an uptrend, and the RSI is actually not too bad. It's sitting here in the 40s, so it's not overbought, not oversold. It's kind of right in the middle. So I actually think that this stock is pretty decent. I also see a little bit of a support here at 36, so I would watch this at 36, and then this little uptrend here. So we'll see what happens, but if it does fall below this uptrend line and then maybe fall further, it's potentially going to go down to 32, so I'd watch it if that was to happen. Moving on to our third stock, we have the consumer discretionary sector. Specialty retail is the industry that this stock is in, and the market cap is $26 billion, so bigger company here. The price of this stock is $105.77. The average target is 130, average analyst target, and the upside is 22.91%. We have a dividend yield for the stock of 2.65%, a dividend increase track record of the past 4 years. The payout ratio is 35.40%, and we have a dividend 3-year CAGR of 61.76%. Okay, so what is the F score? We got a 7, so not too bad. We got a PE ratio of 10.8, a forward of 10.8, price of sales of 0.5, price to book of 6.09, and price of free cash flow of 38.7. What is the company? What do you think? What do you think? Well, comment below. What do you think? Best Buy. So Best Buy, I mean, everyone's heard of Best Buy. I'm sure you've been to a store before. I love the store. I go there all the time when I'm in the US. You go there, browse around, buy a computer. I've gotten a computer there. I've gotten lots of different things. My camera that I'm using right now, I bought at Best Buy. So it's a company that I like. It's a company I shop at. I think it's a great company, a great brand. And let's take a look at the technical analysis for Best Buy. So Best Buy has been really trading within this kind of I call it Darvis box here. So if you look down here, it looks like about 98 is support, resistance being around 121, and it's in a downtrend. However, it has kind of broken out of this downtrend here. And even though the market has been doing pretty bad, it's kind of got a little bit of maybe a little support shelf here at 104. I do think it's possible that if this thing gets down to the 98 area, then definitely a potential of a bounce off of that, so you would want to see. But the RSI is actually definitely declining, meaning that it's possible that this is going to have a price increase soon. So it's also got some moving averages that might be acting as some resistance above it. This is the 50 and 200 day moving averages. So we'll see what happens there, but I do think that this might be a buy still, but I would, if you wanted to wait, see what happens from here. Does it bounce off of this little Fibonacci retracement that I have here of 105, or is it going to go down more towards this support area of 98? So see what happens. Moving on to the next stock, we have an industrial sector stock that is in the aerospace and defense industry and market cap of $96.9 billion. I feel like you might be able to guess this one. So come on, right? Comment below. Come on. What do you got? What do you got? Price, $349.99. Average target, 420. And the upside potential of this is 20%. The dividend yield for this stock is 2.97%. Dividend increase track record, 18 years. Payout ratio of 41.87%, and a CAGR 3-year 31.3%. The F score of the stock is a 7. PE of 13.72. Forward PE of 12.39. Price to sales of 1.42. Price to book 14.72, and price to free cash flow 44.97. What is the stock? Lockheed Martin. So Lockheed Martin, I'm sure you've heard of it before. Maybe you have. If you haven't, then what do they do? Well, there are really 4 different segments of Lockheed Martin. Missiles and fire control is one of the segments. Space is another segment. Rotary and mission systems and aeronautics is another one. So they make big contracts with the government, defense contractor. So big company, lots of revenue, lots of employees, and actually works pretty well with the United States of America on a contractual basis. So what do we have for technical analysis on Lockheed? Okay, so we have a 5-year chart right now that I'm looking at. It's a week chart, and you see a nice, pretty big uptrend line. So I like that. That thing is really good for support levels. Now, we have a declining RSI. That's a good thing. Potentially going to have some movement upward again. Let's zoom in a little more here into the day chart. And so some of the things that might be negative for this is some resistance here, 200-day and 50-day moving averages. This is a resistance level here. But here we have that long-term uptrend that I was talking about, and another support level here. And so I think that this area is going to be very good for the stock if it does end up coming down here. We'll see what happens. It kind of came out of this wedge here, but we'll see what happens if it does come down into, let's say, the 320s. Definitely, I would say it's going to be a buy, but right now it might still be a buy, potentially going up to this resistance line of 364 soon. So let's see what happens. All right, we got our last stock already. So our last stock is in the communication services sector, advertising agencies. Oh, come on. What do you think it is? Market cap 14.7 billion. The price of the stock is $37.40. The average target is 39, so not as much of an upside for this one, 4.28%. But dividend yield, decent, 2.89%. Dividend track record of 10 years. Dividend payout of 62%. And the CAGR is 41.67%. What is the F score of this stock? We have an 8. Awesome. Love it. Love to see an 8. PE ratio of 19.83. Not too bad. Forward PE 14.61. Price to sales 1.72, price to book 4.80, and price to free cash flow 7.69. What is the stock? This one might be a little hard. This is the Interpublic Group of Companies, IPG. What is this company? Well, it is an advertising company, market research company, digital marketing company, all sorts of stuff that basically have to do with advertising. They're a global company. They have offices in 100 countries. I live in the Philippines. They have offices here. They have many different brands. Some of them are McCann, which you probably may have heard of, very big advertising agency. RGA, so like huge companies, huge, very reputable advertising agencies and agencies in general that they have. Some of their clients include Aldi, Amazon, Alphabet, Coke, IBM, like Sony, GM, BMW, the list goes on, like tons of different great reputable companies. They're a very big company, lots of different brands. And so let's go ahead and see what the technical analysis looks like. So one of the reasons I really like this company is because I see a big cup and handle formation, which is a good bullish sign. Right now we're looking back all the way over to 2012, and look at this thing here. Right after the pandemic struck, this thing broke out hardcore, and one of the reasons I put this on here is because I really like what I'm seeing in this chart. This thing's trading above the 50-day and 200-day moving averages. The RSI isn't too bad. It's at about 50, so it's right there in the neutral territory. And it's still in the uptrend, even though a lot of companies have fallen in the past week or 2 weeks because of what's been going on in the market. This thing is still holding pretty steady. So as long as this thing stays in this uptrend, I think this is definitely a stock to potentially buy. Even though the upside potential of this thing, according to the analysts, wasn't that much, I think it's got momentum behind it, and I think it might continue going up. So that's all we have for the video today. Let me know what you think about these picks. Any of these on your radar as well. I'd love to hear from you, and of course, hit the like button if you like this, subscribe if you want to see future content. Let me know, please, in the comments below if you like these stock picking videos. Maybe I'll make some more of them if you do. Maybe you want to see like some growth stocks. Just let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And of course, watch another one of my videos coming up on the end screen right now.